But maybe, just maybe, it's only a scam till you meet the right one.
Independent Television and Radio, in conjunction with Efidosa Catering Services, Amena Academy, invite you to an unforgettable night of love, laughter, and timeless memories.
Couples Classic Old School Edition.
Let's take a step.
Connection meant something deeper.
Proudly supported by Resource Positioning Limited, powered by UK, the EU Migration Limited, in partnership with Resource, brings to you Pathway for families to migrate to the UK via employment visa and dependent sponsorship route. Benefits: pathway to UK residency and British citizenship, access to free education and public health care, UK job for primary and secondary applicants, flexible
Certainly the best. ITV. Certainly the best. ITV. Certainly the best. ITV.
A beautiful morning to you, and every morning we dress up, wake up, and we show up for you on your ultimate current affairs program. This morning on ITV in Benin, in Lagos, and in Abuja, bringing you up to speed with information in the politics and in the polity, telling you how the policies of government is being shaped by the day-to-day activities as we look forward to the 2027 general election, which is around the corner. I'm not alone here in the studio. I'm with my amazing co-anchor. She's always looking dashy as usual. But before I introduce her, I am Lawrence Osifo. Let's join my co-anchor, Anu Akbo Stevens. Anu?
Good morning, Lawrence. What happened to ladies first? Because you were just saying you're with your co-anchor. You had to introduce yourself. Anyway, good to see you.
I have to introduce myself if I introduce my co-anchor.
No, ladies first before the men. That's how they say it, right?
Oh my God, you got me on that. How you doing?
I'm blessed. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. We're here again. I'm monitoring the politics and the polity, what's happening. Kano is the next center stage.
Absolutely.
As the governor has shift tent. He didn't go alone. He left with 22 members of the House of Assembly,
yes.
9 members of the House of Representatives. That's a big blow to the NNPP. And, you know, Kano has a way of shaping Nigeria's politics. Kano State alone, the largest local government in Nigeria, 44, and population as well. People argue that Kano has the highest local government, highest population before Lagos. But a lot also say, no, Lagos have the highest before Kano. So all of that put together, what do you look forward to see come 2027?
Oh, well, so many beautiful stuff. I mean, 2027 politically, whatever, it's already heated up, and a lot of Nigerians are looking forward to it. But even before this defection happened yesterday, a couple of weeks before now, we saw in the news that tension did arise around the Kano State government area due to gossips and rumors about the governor of Kano State, Abba Yusuf, defecting to the ruling party, the All Progressive Congress. And what are the reasons he spelled out? The usual reasons. He wants to be connected to the center to get all of the great dividends of democracy. And also, we saw how he was able to gather a lot of supporters yesterday during the defection party, I would say. And as a result of what has happened yesterday in Kano State, Kwankwaso's son, the commissioner of youth, resigned yesterday, and we are also going to see all of their resignations as well moving forward in Kano State, because the KKK state, and it's not just the Kano State that is one of the most political heated states when it comes to election in Nigeria. We also have Lagos, we have Katsina, in fact the KKK state, including Port Harcourt. Now it's a bit of godfatherism drama happening, but in a more subtle way, I would say, because it hasn't gotten to the point where we see trading of words, although Kwankwaso did say that on the 23rd of January 2026 has been tagged as a day of betrayal because he felt betrayed. A lot of things to talk about when it comes to defection in Kano State.
Absolutely, a lot of things to talk about. You know, when I hear these people say they want to be aligned with the center, I ask the question, what is really in that center you want to be aligned with? Because the Constitution already spelled out that your allocation must, not will, must be given to you. So when you tell us that you are aligning with the center because maybe you're scared of your allocation, you can drag the federal government to court if they don't give you your allocation. It is exclusively stated there. It is your right as a state to get your federal allocation, to get your derivation if you're part of the 13% derivation state, whatever that is supposed to be given to you. So when I hear some of this governor come out to say, oh, they want to be aligned with the center, what is really in that center?
It's the presidency and it's the president, but it's safe to say that all of this going on is for just selfish reasons.
Exactly.
Because you want to come back again for a second term. Because already the federal government and the president has said, due to the removal of fuel subsidy, a lot of state governments are getting more allocations and more monies, and we don't even see that affect the daily average man right here in Nigeria. So safe to say that it is for selfish reasons. And what about the people? But already we hear in the news news that the APC has come out to say, you know what, all of those governors coming in on board,
You're
don't
not getting
think
automatic
that
ticket.
it's a free,
It's not a free ground for
Kula
you.
Baloo automatic
Yeah.
ticket for you. You
Yeah.
have to fight for it. But then
Absolutely.
there are those again who would say that, you know what, we've settled all of the differences moving forward. So all of the persons coming in on board right now, do not worry, we're going to settle you accordingly.
Okay, they will settle them accordingly, they say. Let's talk to Ikaru Atta in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, the center of unity. The president have jetted out again out of the country, but Ikaru being the correspondent in the State House. Let's get to hear from him and see if you have any information to give to us. Okay, before we join Ikaru, so like I said, the president have jetted out again. The president.
When did he
He returned last
return?
week, exactly.
Safe to say that he loves traveling. But then again, so we heard that he went to Turkey, right? And just to be precise, he departed yesterday
Yesterday
for a
evening.
state visit in
Yeah.
Turkey. And according to Bayo Onanuga, he said the visit aims to strengthen long-standing cordial relations between Nigeria and Turkey,
Yeah.
while exploring new areas of
Yeah.
cooperation and security,
Amazing.
education, social development, innovation, and aviation. Basically, bilateral relationship. But this is not the first time. I mean, the main question should be, what are the dividends of all of those travels?
Traveling.
How does it affect the Nigeria economy? And all of these guys you're going to see, how many times
Do
do
they
they
come
even
to
come
your
to visit us
country?
here in
Thank
Nigeria?
you.
Because
That is the question
it
on
is
my
one thing.
mind.
I mean, the last time the president of Turkey did an official visit to Nigeria was in October 2021.
Yeah.
But our African leaders right here will always go there. But then again, over there, how often do they come down here?
I'm waiting to see the day Recep Tayyip Erdogan, the president of Turkey,
Right.
will say he's coming to Nigeria for bilateral. Must we be the one to always go meet these guys for bilateral talks, for aviation, for education, for security? Can't these people also come to meet us to explore some of these things from us?
And
the president did not do crossover in Nigeria in the history since I was born. Yes, I don't think I can't remember.
You held on to
since
that
I held on to that.
strongly.
Yeah, he did not do crossover in Nigeria. The
Right.
president of Nigeria, since I was born, it has never happened, or it has happened. Maybe I didn't know, but this I captured this. He didn't do crossover in Nigeria. He crossed over in Bayo Onanuga said Europe, a continent.
And then we saw him in the UAE.
We saw in the UAE. From UAE, he moved to France. From France, he came back. Now he has gone back again. All right, let's speak with Abuja and Lagos. Ikaru Atta, the center of unity. I was thinking you'll be on that trip with the president. You'll be on that trip with the president. But Ikaru, how are you doing? How is Abuja? Okay, let's talk to Lagos. Patricia Gabriels, how are you in Lagos?
I'm good, Lawrence. And how you doing in Benin?
Calm,
Anyway, Lawrence, I heard you and I know. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, Benin City is cool, calm, like I said. Though some slight traffic on my way here this morning, as usual, built up because everybody's either you're rushing to school for school run, you're going to the office, so you just need to hit traffic. But Benin City, as at when I was on my way to the office, very amazing. The road was okay.
Anu looks so beautiful this morning. Okay, so I heard Anu and you talking about the president jetting out of the country again. Honestly, it's becoming embarrassing. I mean, how the the president jets out of the country with all the problems lying down, seeking for attention. I mean, there's so much kidnapping going on in the north. There's, of course, just the one that happened yesterday, the FCT was on fire. You know, workers were protesting for salaries. I mean, there's a lot going on. The doctors are still on strike. People go to the zoo and they are rich. Imagine I had an evidence. I saw what happened. I think 3 days ago, someone had an accident and was rushed to the general hospital here in Lagos. He was rejected. Private hospitals also rejected him. They took him to the bigger general hospital in Ikeja, and he was also rejected because doctors were on strike. Guess what? The gentleman died. And so a lot is going on. And we need our president's attention to, you know, try to sort all this out. But he's always out of the country. Just like Anu asked, what is the dividends of all these trips? Has it changed the economy of the country? Do we really have people coming in here for investment? I don't think so. There's a lot to be tackled here in Nigeria, and we need Mr. President more in Nigeria than traveling outside the country. Lawrence.
President here in Nigeria rather than you traveling, because we have so many daunting challenges in Nigeria we need to fix. Today you are in France, tomorrow you are in UK, next tomorrow you are in UAE, the next day you are in Abu Dhabi, the next day you are in Turkey. Come on, we're tired, Mr. Excellency, sir. We're tired. We need to fix our problem here rather than one thing about this traveling, Anu,
right?
If you know the cost of his stay, whether talking about parking the presidential jet at the airport of the country you're visiting per night, talking about the entourage he's going with, because he doesn't go alone. They will feed those entourage, they will pay their hotel accommodation, we will buy aviation fuel for the presidential jets, we will ESTA codes, you know. Come on.
Well, there are those who would say that when it gets to your turn, when you become the president of Nigeria, don't travel. On a lighter note though, but then again, another thing to even talk about are those persons who always, the governors, the ministers always go to the airport to
yes,
go and welcome.
Look at what they go to do. They just go and wave him bye-bye.
Yesterday we saw the minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, right there at the airport going to say, hey, you know what, bye-bye, Mr. President, we'll see you soon. And we saw the whole hullabaloo, the drama, the shenanigans that happened right there in Abuja yesterday. I mean, there's so many things to talk about today.
Hope Uzodinma left Imo. He went to Abuja just to wave the president bye-bye to Turkey. Like, doesn't
you know, there was one time that stuff was trending.
Trending,
like,
yeah, on the social media. Like, what doesn't make
back.
sense? You are the governor of a state. Focus on your state. Then you use taxpayers' money to fly from Owerri to Abuja just to do the president like this, an elderly man. That doesn't make sense.
It seems the politics we get to play here in Nigeria is a very unique and beautiful one, just to sum things up.
To you is unique and beautiful. Okay, let's see if we can speak with Ikaro in Abuja. Let's get to hear from him about what happened yesterday in Abuja, the protest, the FCT minister, everything. Ikaro Ata, good morning and good to have you on TMI this morning. How are you doing? How is Abuja?
Well, Abuja is this morning, if you can get me very clearly, Lawrence, Anu, and Patricia in Lagos. So much to explain about the dilemma of a nation. And if we will use the word of Professor PLO Lumumba, he said Africa lost the script. We lost the script long ago. That's why you could see our leaders all gather. Sometimes you have China African Corporation, over about 30 African leaders in China. US will have their own war. The all African heads of states and their airplanes will fly to that place. That's the theater of shame that we have found ourselves. And what you raised, the big question is, why will governors from their states fly into Abuja to come and shake the president who will be traveling on a two-day working visit? That means all things being equal, if nothing happens that he needs to branch into France or anywhere, that means we'll be seeing the president back by tomorrow evening or next tomorrow morning. And Hope Uzodinma had abandoned Owerri, flew into Abuja, and had come to get that handshake, standing beside Wike, and somehow that's the irony of the state. What we can do inward, we believe that we must go to other civilizations and beg to get them. Okay, yesterday was a theater of shame at the #1 capital street, Gariki area 11, Abuja, which is the corporate headquarters of the Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, an office of the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, where the striking workers had come in and from the court where the minister dragged them to court. After the court adjourned, they marched to his office, and I don't know what led to that. The minister came in. I don't know how. Military men were deployed in large number, police and civil defense, and they gathered the minister in by force. But coming out was a problem. And he had to sneak out through the back door. And that led to the theater of shame that we all saw yesterday. And the question many are asking, when the whole area is charged, why do you have to come in and escape through the back door? Why? Just why? Can't you just go to the airport, stay in the lounge, take some nice chips and ketchup and nice juice, even if you can take something a little bit hot, and wait for the president. When he comes, you shake him. After shaking him, you go. And many persons are already analyzing that video. And I just pray Anu and others will spare Wike this morning on that handshake and some of the body gesture that persons are talking about here. But we'll be looking at that on TMI in Abuja this morning, and also looking at the area council election. Like what you raised, it's a show, it's a one-party show. Let's use that word, one-party show. Abuja will be having area council election in less than in about a few weeks from now, and yet nothing is happening at all. Nothing. No campaign, nothing anywhere. The entire media houses were forcing to create a discourse because it's a one-party state. PDP is in disarray, Labour Party in disarray, ABGA in disarray. Which other party is left? Even the ADC, some persons have been going to court with allegation that those going to court to destroy all the parties are funded by the current government. Allegation here. But with all the parties in disarray, the only party that is not in court at the moment is the APC. So the question is, how safe are we? Everyone had to jump ship and enter the APC, and the Kano governor joined, abandoning Kwankwaso, who stood in for him. You've seen many persons join. Akwa Ibom had joined, and many persons have already defected. Delta of all states have joined, and many of these states are states that are chronically PDP or chronically whatever MPP, and they have all moved into the APC. And many are prophesying, political prophecies, that we are going to be seeing massive implosion in the APC when it comes to ward congresses, party congresses, and delegate congresses to choose who will represent them, because most of these defectors are coming to a place that fully already have its own structure. The Kano lawmakers defecting. There are many persons who stood in for Tinubu and Ganduje during the storm and Barao, but now are you going to dislodge all of them? What will be the fate? I think we're looking at that. While still this early morning, I know our crew are already at the FCT Minister's office, where we are going to be seeing another show. I don't know whether it will be show of shame or whatever. The second day in court from the minister office, there will be charged workers. The one you see on the screen are all charged workers. That was Barrister Maxwell Okpara, who said yesterday that he was wondering, why should we drag workers to court when we can talk to them? Almost 3 years in office, you have not met workers for one day. 3 years in office, you have not met the workers for one day. Lawrence, Anu, and Patricia, somehow, someone will be asking a question. If Tinubu can be in NSC, why can't you meet the workers' union just for one day? You've met everything. Why can't you just sit down with the workers and talk to them? 3 years, when they ask you for their right, you drag them to court. When we want the drama, for us, we have to cover, to report, make analysis, and ensure that the public is adequately informed.
Yes, so many things to talk about this morning, Ikarata. But then again, there are those who would say, what are the basic reasons for the strike? Let's not forget that it started last week and it's still up until this moment. What are they talking about? The welfare packages. Would you want to run us through that just a little bit?
Okay, I thank you, Anula Post. There are so many out here. Is that when the FCT minister came in, one of their grievances is that when people retire, there is always this issue of the minister saying there are the ones he's working with, about 5 or 6 or 7 persons he works with, either as permanent secretary, either as director, either as whatever. He gives them 2-3 years extension, 2 years extension, 1.5 year extension, and the civil servants are asking, when do you start all of this? The head of service, head of service was to retire, you gave extension. PAMSEC was to go, you gave extension. Directors were to go. Somebody who have served 35 years in office, you still give them extension. Now, the other one is setting allowances and entitlement owed. They are not paid. The issue of promotion, they brought in a consultant to come and do promotion for the staff, and about 8,000 or 10,000 persons wrote examination, and only 2,000 passed. And they asked that they got glitches. Many light went off. They had glitches. That in the case of JAM revisited its own. In the case of their own, they said nobody can talk to the minister. Only 2,000 passed, 8,000 failed, and the 8,000 are saying we cannot fail our promotion examination. 8,000 is failing. That this is the first time FCT is using what do you call it now? CBT examination. That they want that exam conducted. That you can't just get a consultant. Most of the computers did not work. That's the first time they are trying it. And the next thing you say, the 8,000, they have failed, only 2,000 passed. And what about all the complaints of glitches? Nobody can talk to. I think the focal thing the points are 18. They are 14 points, 14 or 18 points. Some say 20, some 18. The workers are saying, I think the cardinal thing is the fact that there is the need for the minister, having served going to 3 years, to just sit down and tell the workers, what's your name? Who are you? And whatever. And what are your demands? Government, every quarter, there is 1 day set aside for minister and trade union. Every quarter, every 3 months, a full day, like from morning till night. After that night, they will take, I think, lunch or whatever. It's a full day. They will bring all the grievances. They will sit down and talk. And the reason why the strike appears to linger so long and why the problem escalated was that just on Sunday, NUT, the teachers did not join them. But on Sunday, the teachers decided to call a meeting and say, look, they are going to be joining the strike. And that was why you see everything got real compounded. And like what Barrister Maxwell raised, which some person share, the time you are spending hiring sand, the time you are spending going to court, why don't you spend that 20 minutes or even 1 hour? Just sit down with the workers and tell them, okay, we are joined, we meet tomorrow, go back to work. But for 3 years, you are not doing that. I think, look at the deployment of a military to come and stop, heavy deployment of military with coming with about 4, 5, 7 hillocks to stop your workers that you can meet and you have not met. I think the whole thing is about the side irony. The demands are very many, but we just be able to get that, and the military men and others go back to their barrack or Sambisa Forest or somewhere in Zamfara or Sokoto to fight bandits, and not to be gathering there in their hundreds, if not thousands, trying to prevent workers from coming to protest and dance and sing.
Okay, Ikaro.
Okay, Ikaro, if you can hear me, thank you so much. There are those who are looking forward to reactions from the Minister of the FCT, of course. Even the media know that we're expecting the media chat or maybe a press conference somewhat. Now, I feel like it's interesting times for Nyesom Wike because last week we saw protests still in the same Abuja with youth calling out for the removal or the resignation of the Minister of the FCT. Will that happen? I don't think so. But moving over to Lagos, Patricia Gabriel, run us through what we would be expecting from your table this morning.
Thank you, Anu. We'll be looking at 2027 again. I mean, the elections are drawing near. Finally, we go to 2026, and so 2027 is visible. Okay, so we'll be looking at the storm as Shettima's fate divides the APC. We all know that, people are complaining of the Muslim tickets, and then, a lot of APC members are saying that shouldn't work again in 2027. And now Shettima supporters are not agreeing to this. The supporters are saying it won't happen. Why do you want to take him off the vice president ticket? So a lot of people are complaining that Shettima's supporters, while we also have the other supporters who says the Muslim ticket cannot work in 2027. So there's a kind of division in APC right now as we speak, and people are asking, will this division help the ADC to override the APC come 2027 elections? Will that help the ADC to win some of the elected offices, like the presidential office and governorship office, some of the offices, because a lot of governors have defected to APC. And just like you asked earlier on, what is exactly happening at the center? And just like Lawrence said, I mean, is the entitlement of the state governors to get their whatever allocations they are entitled to, whether they are APC, whether they are PDP, whether they are ADC, they are entitled to that allocation and they're supposed to get it. So I am thinking, in my own thoughts, it's selfish interest, because I do not know why you want to defect to APC saying, oh well, that's the central, that's where it's all happening. That's, for me, it's greed. And so we're going to be looking at the division Shettima is going to be causing in the party come in the future, some days to come, because a lot of confusion is going on in APC right now. And so we don't know how this will be handled, especially with the president always out of the country. I do not know how this will be handled, and then I hope it will be handled soon.
Tricia, beautiful. I feel like it's a timely conversation. Well, thank you so much, gentleman and lady. We'll join you shortly. I'm back here in the studio, Lawrence. I feel like it's a timely conversation because we've even heard of names that have been called out for the best possible person for the seat of the vice president. And just yesterday, Bayo Onanuga, the spokesperson to President Bola Tinubu, did say that, hey, the media should stop projecting all of this. It's falseless, it's baseless. We do not have any intention of removing or changing Vice President Kashim Shettima. It had to clarify that yesterday.
But we're seeing it happen. So Bayo Onanuga should not always come out to shade, to cover, I'm trying to be very careful, to cover the shame of the person he's working for.
Well, until 2027, before we would know.
We will not wait till 2027. No, the primaries will be done this year, 2026. So it is during primaries they will start, shuttling for who we, because without primaries there will be no main elections. So INEC guidelines says as a political party you have to conduct your primaries. After you conduct your primary, you have your flag bearer, the president and his vice. They go together. It's a one-person ticket. You don't, when we go to vote, there is no voting for the president and the vice president. I don't know if you understand. Once the president wins, automatically the vice wins. Once the governor wins, automatically the deputy, his running mate wins. It's a joint ticket for the president.
Anyway.
So truth is, whether Bayo Onanuga likes it or not, or Daniel Bwala, the second spokesperson, because the offices are so many, you never know the one that is not the spokesperson. Whether they like it or not, we are seeing this thing like the honorable back then in House of Representatives said, it's like the biblical mene mene tekeyu fasi. It's visible to the blind and audible to the deaf.
Whatever that means. Whatever that means. But right now, let's hold on to what Bayo Onanuga has
let's hold on
saying,
to what he said.
Media houses, everyone stop doing that. We are not taking out our interesting, some would say ceremonial vice president Kashim Shettima.
He just came back from Davos.
I think he'll be going out soon.
He'll be going out again. Everybody is just going out.
And to think the president is out of the country, usually, according to the Nigerian constitution,
you're supposed to
the vice president will be in charge for the period of the time when the president is away. But we don't see that happen.
It doesn't happen in Nigeria anymore. It happened during Jonathan administration. It stopped then.
It also happened during Muhammadu Buhari's, the late president's
first
time,
administration.
Because there was a period when Yemi Osinbajo handled Nigeria, and we saw a little bit of difference.
Some change. So it doesn't happen anymore. I was having this conversation we just talked about with a colleague and a friend in school. He was like, everything has been changed. Who changed it? How did it change? The constitution says when you're leaving, you hand over power to your vice on an acting capacity. But you know the problem with us in Nigeria, because we were too greedy, we were scared that if I hand over power to you, if you are my deputy now, before I come back, you're going to sign a whole lot of security votes.
Well, on the other hand, I also think it's an average Nigerian
mentality.
That happens everywhere, in organization and school. So it shouldn't be a biggie, but then the right thing should be done the right way.
Absolutely, the right thing should be done the right way. Let's touch a little bit on the FCT.
Right.
The FCT minister are going to court to ask them to quash an order by the workers in order for the caption there said he was whisked through the back gate. A minister. A minister.
I think that happened because the protesters locked the front gate and he had to run for his life.
So why did you not do the right thing? Because if you know, say, the minister of the FCT is like the governor of the FCT. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Just like the governor of the state. He gets allocation, he passes the allocation and everything. So how can, it's just like the governor of Edo State. People are protesting. He will now whisk him through the back gates. Come on, that's appalling. I
honestly do not know what is going on with Nyesom Wike.
But the only thing he does is to fly from Abuja to Port Harcourt.
To Rivers State. Yes, I honestly do not know what's going on. There are those who would also say, because prior to now we saw a protest that did happen saying remove or sack Nyesom Wike. Abuja is not Rivers State. Maybe that warrant could be politically motivated or sponsored.
Should we always tie politics to everything that happens in Nigeria?
Well, 2027 is here, so of course we have to. And also I don't know what is going on, because Nyesom Wike that we know in Rivers State, he was up for infrastructure. He was, I mean, with governance he did so well. Maybe he's confused with the political saga going on in Rivers State, because oftentimes he spends more time in Rivers State than Abuja State, where is the minister of the FCT. So, and like I did say, we're looking for
an immediate
press conference with his, that is chair.
Yeah, that's chair, that big chair. They'll just come out in a public place.
Right.
Even Lere too. Lere will go to our sister station. Either one of the sister stations. He's a media aide.
Right.
Lere, what's the other name again? Lere something. He will go,
Larry
Larry. So we will see all of these things on food, but it is wrong. The Bible says the person that has work deserves his what? His wages. Pay them their money. It's just like the both of us as we are here now. Month is about to end.
No,
we have the faith that we have the faith
no.
already that we're going to get our lot. That's why we're here. We're doing our job. We're happy. God, pay them their money. Pay them their money. It is their right. It's not a privilege. When you work, you have to be paid. It is not a privilege. It is a right.
And it's also beautiful to see that NLC joined them
NLC
yesterday.
joined the protest.
TUC also joined.
Yes.
So it's not just one section of the FCTA
Absolutely.
workers speaking, it's everybody in general.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that schools have, some part of the schools have also been shot in the FCTA. I mean, what is going on, Mr. Minister?
What is going on, Mr. Minister? That's the question Anu is asking you. Mr. Minister, what is going on? Let's take a break so we'll flip through the pages of the paper. We'll start our conversation here in Benin, looking at those states under review, the infrastructural development of Senator Monday Okpebholo since his administration of the governor of Edo State. We'll be having a senior special assistant to the governor on special duties to talk to us. Then hopefully time permits us, we'll also delve into the Kano politics, the defection, high fellowship 2027. But let's take a break to bring you what the people are saying. Stay with us. It's TMI on the ITV network.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. You're on to This Morning on ITV, and now we turn our attentions over to look at a couple of national dailies this morning. And we begin with the Punch newspaper. Interesting headlines, I would say. And the major one is as regards military intervention. Military investigation ends. DHQ moves to arraign alleged coup plotters. Subrata says military finally confirms plot to overthrow Tinubu's government. Inside a plot to breach presidential villa security, DHQ awaits presidential go-ahead for military tribunal. On page 2, you get details of this story. Well, on the front page of the Punch newspaper, we have two pictures. It says, deadly winter storm hits U.S., 17 killed, flight grounded. Interesting times, I would say. Well, on page 20 of the Punch newspaper this morning, 2027, Ganduje assures Yusuf of APC tickets after defection. NDLEA arrests 336, destroys 207,000 kilograms of cannabis in Ondo. On page 5, you get details of the story. Local government power tussle. Osun APC kicks as Adeleke slams Oyetola. On page 20. Over 400,000 jostle for 50,000 police jobs. Who was speaking? IGP Ebretoku has that to say on page 7. Strike. Court decides today as FCT workers demand Wike's removal. On page 7, will that happen? Well, we'll see. Presidential panel recommends freeze on 1 trillion naira rice imports. On page 21. Alafi so absent as Makinde kicks off Oyo 50th anniversary. On page 20, that's the ancient city of Oyo State. Which of those stories would you want to react to? Because there are a lot of them.
There are a lot of stories to react to.
First with Ganduje assuring Yusuf of APC ticket after defection.
Yeah.
Saying, don't worry, we're going to give it to you. That's just it.
Automatically. Because you know why I'm so these things look so interesting.
Right.
The party you are defecting to have come out openly to tell us that your defection will not guarantee you automatic ticket. So I begin to wonder, what is now the idea behind this defection? Mba of Enugu, Duoyedri of Bayelsa, you that is not even going for a second time again, or that's Duoyedri. That was the one that touches me. Okay, you want to go to Senate, I agree. Because the Senate is the, what do we call it? The pension ground, the retirement ground for the governors. You know, why all of these? Why? Nigeria
but away,
politics is
away from that, let's talk about this alleged coup plotters.
Yeah.
This is the second time again we are
that.
having this in the news, and interestingly, the DHQ and the military are too quick, too fast to swift it all out. What do you think is going on? Should we be concerned? Should the Tinubu government actually be concerned is the question.
I, as a person, as an individual, as a Nigerian, I wouldn't be concerned. Do you know who should be concerned? The politicians. Yeah, they should. Because I don't see, if democracy is indeed the government of the people, for the people, by the people, as it ought to be in the layman's definition, then the people seem not to be experiencing that kind of democracy. And people in the military, I'm not a supporter of coup.
Right.
Let me make that clear. I'm not a supporter, because there's this saying that the worst military rule, the worst democratic rule is better than the worst military rule. I'm not a supporter of coup. I've never experienced coup since I was born. Yeah, to be honest.
Nepo baby.
I've never experienced coup. Probably the last one, I was still very tender in age. Yeah, that was the very last, before 1999 and everything. So I've never experienced coup. But come on, the government should be concerned, because if you're doing the right thing, I don't think the military will be gingering to, they want to take over power. No. So the politicians should be concerned with providing the basic necessities according to section 14 sub 2a, b and c of the Constitution. Sovereignty belongs to the people. The welfare, the security and welfare of the people shall be the sole purpose of government. So when it now seems like the security is not there, the welfare is not there, the people will be agitating for another source of system, which I am not advocating, and it's not good to advocate it. So the government should sit up or they should stand up anyone they want to do.
Absolutely. Let's move away from that and look at other interesting national dailies this morning. The New Telegraph is up next. You want to take that?
The New Telegraph, the New Telegraph is leading with a court martial, military to try officers, just what we spoke about, of alleged plot to overthrow government. You can find that in page 3 of the New Telegraph. Above that, above the masthead, which is fourth quarter of 2025, bank loans to government got up to 38.1% to 34.22 trillion naira. All right, powerful forces working to destabilize Nigeria, says CDS. That's the Chief of Defense Staff, or that's on the military or the coup plot, according to the CDS. Below that, you can see FG has no effective plan to end atrocities. Who is talking? Amnesty International. Down below that, you can see Nigeria record first robotic women's gynecology surgery in West Africa. Thumbs up, good one to hear. There's cheery news, first in West Africa. Cheery indeed. Finally, on that, opposition reps raise the alarm over non-implementation of the 2025 budget. And lastly, Osun LG's tenure elongation illegal in democracy, Adeleke tells APC. All right.
Okay, away from the New Telegraph newspaper this morning, we move over to the Nation newspaper. And the major story this time around taking the shape with what is going on in Kano State. It says Kano quakes with governor lawmakers defection to APC. Sobrada says Baru excited by movement into party. Kwankwaso's son quits ESCO. So that happened immediately. The defection party was going on right there in Kano State. Away from that, the Ziana's trial for corruption in UK runs into hitch. On page 4, you get details of that story. President arrives Turkey on page 2.
Okay, he has jetted down Turkey.
Yes,
Thank God.
yes,
Congratulations, Mr. President, for your safe trip, for your safe flight.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
well, away from that,
he's our president. It's not easy to fly on air when you get to your destination.
Tell
Congratulations, 001.
Tell me about it. Well, still on the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning, AGF takes over Ozekome's forgery case from ICPC on page 35. No plan to replace Shatima as Tinubu's running mate, says APC. Page 4. So you guys hear it. Be warned. Don't talk about that anymore.
We watch.
We've seen that here already on the front page of the dailies this morning. Well, military set to court martial suspect for alleged coup on page 2. NAFDAC's ban on sachet drinks will cripple local investment on page 7. We're seeing details of that story. And of course, on the front page of the Nation newspaper, just below the major headline, we see a picture of what went down yesterday in Abuja. And finally, low-income earners get January pay with tax laws implementation on page 33. Well, that's all on the Nation newspaper this morning.
Okay, let's see what the Guardian is saying. The Guardian is leading. Residents on the brink as rents spike above yearly income in major cities. Benin City is one of those cities.
It's everywhere right now, even in Lagos.
But I think
Port Harcourt.
I think what we're having right now, it's, let's talk about this a bit. It's really something. A landlord cannot just wake up. Your rent expired in December, for instance.
Right.
You want to renew January to December. He tells you he has increased rent. It doesn't
Immediately.
Work. It doesn't work like that by law. You know, the problem we have in this part of the world is we don't know how to follow the channels of the law. Probably we feel the channels are too slow, or it takes time. If a landlord wants to increase your rent, for instance, you pay yearly. He gives you a 6 months notice ahead. As you were paying for last year, he will tell you from this year, I will be increasing my rent. What happens? You will now adjust yourself, know what you need to do. But a landlord waking up because you want to renew for a new year, tells you rent don't increase. So because you now, out of probably looking for an accommodation is something crazy, then you put so many things into consideration. You just, okay, I go pay. That is not what the law says. You own your house. I agree with you. You built your house with your hard-earned money. At the point where the person rents your house, you have transferred your titleship to the person.
Right.
The house is not the person's property, but at the point when the person is staying in that house, it becomes his legal property. So you cannot just wake up in the morning as a landlord and barge into a tenant's apartment. That's trespassing by law. The person can sue the landlord. It is his property, like I said. You built your house. So when I saw this, I'm like, because it happened recently somewhere around me. You don't wake up because you feel you ate overfeeding for Christmas. You have increased rent. Who does that?
Maybe some of these guys are not even informed.
Because
they say information is key and information is correct. So I would say that most of them really are not informed.
They're not.
Another major thing we should even talk about is the fact that we do not have association and bodies governing all of these things.
Absolutely.
I know they tried to do that in Lagos, but would it work? In Benin City, in Edo State, it's another different ballgame.
It's another different ballgame.
Also, it's not every house you even tend to increase rent. You would want to look at your house first or the estate before you just say, you know what, we are increasing this rent. And then some person would also fix their place, renovate it before they say, okay, I want to increase my rent. And it's left for you to either retain or you find your way. I mean, how much is the minimum wage?
How much is the minimum wage?
We talked about this yesterday. I'm raising the question up again. Really, I mean, Nigerians are going through a lot. And 2027 is here. I mean, if you're not part of the process, I honestly don't know.
Hopefully, we're going to be having someone on Thursday. We'll talk about this process so much on Thursday, God willing. Okay, let's move on to the next one on the Guardian. OSP worsens in Ogoni. 1 month after FG's intervention. You can find that on page 7 of the Guardian. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Which paper do we have next there?
I think that's all we have this morning on the newspaper review segment. Okay, we haven't taken the Nigerian Tribune. So let's quickly take that finally. It also did say alleged coup, military to court-martial 16 officers. That's the major headline on Nigerian Tribune this morning. On page 3, you get details of that story. No plan to drop Shatima as Tinubu's running mate. APC again reaffirming on the Nigerian Tribune on page 16. Regarding health, Nigeria records first robotic women's gynecology surgery in West Africa. Well, the power of AI, beautiful, on page 2. Well, still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, with Kano's governor's defection, APC now controls 29 states out of the 36 states plus the FCT that we have right here in Nigeria. Well, subwriter says 36 assembly members, 44 local government chairmen followed Abba Yusuf to party. Shatima to receive Muftuang into APC today. That's Caleb Muftuang, right? Of
Taraba.
Of Taraba State. Caleb Muftuang. Oh my goodness. On page 15 and 16. What is going on?
What is going on?
We're going to have a free and fair on election come 2027.
You know, it brings to bear in law. There's a statement they use, duly incapax. So when you hear the word duly incapax, it means someone who cannot decide by law. So in the eyes of the law, children, they are duly incapax. A child below the age of 10 and 12 cannot make decision for his or herself. So whatever the child does at that age, it is seen as ignorant on the child, doesn't know what he's doing. So when I see local government chairman, House of Assembly members, which other people defect alongside with the governor, I ask myself, are you duly incapax? That you cannot take decision for yourself? So anywhere the governor is going, you go with the governor?
Of course, if you do not follow, you would not get some of those benefits.
If the governor is entering inside the fire, you follow the governor to the fire?
Well, oh my God, politics at the end of the day. And then they say he who plays the pipe takes the tune.
Indeed.
So, well.
All right, so you grab a copy of any of those dailies to flip through and get more details and insights. Let's take a short break. Let's start off the conversation. Those states will be our major focus, infrastructural development under Governor Okpebholo. Let's speak with the special advisor, senior special assistant rather, SSA, to the governor on special duties. Stay with us, it's the TMI on the ITV network.
roads. Stop the carnage. Obey traffic rules and regulations. This message is brought to you courtesy Independent Television and
Unfortunately, most of the differences I see now are heartbreaking. Men were strong, protectors of the weak, fathers, brothers, lovers, sons. Their mere presence in the ranking of women action. But what do we have now? Men harassing and raping women. Men sexually abusing little girls. Men battering and killing their wives. Any form of sexual assault, be it rape or pedophilia, is a pillar of human service. Women should stop dying in silence. Think of the rapist should be stigmatized, not the victim. I dread the sound of that word. I think death sentence should be the consequence of such a terrible act.
And you mothers, build trust and confidence in our children. Believe them when they report and take necessary action.
Talking of mothers, before now, women were virgins. They were mothers, sisters, lovers and daughters, nurturing, counseling and supporting their men. But now, women are practically giving children to money. Women are stabbing and cutting off the genitals of their men. And it's not up now. Free men don't rape, molest or abuse women and children. It's inhuman, it's barbaric, it's unacceptable. Let real men stand with us and together say an emphatic no to rape, abuse and domestic violence.
ITVN Radio Stakeholders Meeting. Stakeholders are invited to the 2026 engagement meeting, designed to strengthen collaboration, review service delivery, and to discuss matters of mutual interest. Date: Wednesday, 28th January 2026. Time: 10 a.m. prompt. Venue: Ehizwa Hall, opposite ITVN Radio Corporate Headquarters, Glass House, Airport Road, Benin City. Guests are expected to be seated by 9:30 a.m. Signed: Management. They say love na scam.
But maybe, just maybe, it's only a scam till you meet the right one.
Independent Television and Radio, in conjunction with Epidosa Catering Services, Amena Academy, invite you to an unforgettable night of love, laughter, and timeless memories.
Couples Classic Old School Edition.
Let's take a step back into the golden era,
where love was intentional, music was soulful, and connection meant something deeper.
Right Apogero Mobile, Edo State Coordinator, Ojo People's Congress, OPCC, Director, Ojo Options Venture, 163, Uselu Lagos Road, off Mela Motel Road, Uselu Benin City.
Ambassador Julius Iridia Adu, Managing Director, Iridia Integrated Logistics, Iridia Estates, Iridia Block Industry, Iridia Sawmill, and General Contractor.
Dr. Taiwo Mike Akuwa, JP, CEO, Taiwo Solution Farming Enterprise, number 16, Fred Ayore Street, opposite Nelson Filling Station, Asoro School, Noah Road, Benin City.
Maya Hotel Suites and Apartment, located at number 1 Maya Avenue, off Okoromi, Aroba Road, off Airport Road, GRA, Benin City.
Happening 14th of February 2026 at the Elegant Central Hotel, Epidosa Signature, off opposite First Bank, Apapaba, Benin City. Expect exciting games, beautiful karaoke moments, best dressed couples, true life love stories, rip-cracking comedy, a live band, dance, and lots of gifts to be won.
Tickets available now. Single 30,000 naira, couple 50,000 naira, presidential couple 100,000 naira with accommodation, buffet breakfast and a bottle of wine included.
For more information, call 0703 849 3836.
Couples Classic Old School Edition. Love must count till you meet the right one.
Of the world in hospitality, OT Hotel Boutique and Spa, number 1 Lucky Lane off Entity, GRA, Benin City, and OT Luxury Hotel, Sabele Road. And OT Luxury Hotel, bridging the hospitality gap.
Richard didn't want to die, but he couldn't stop himself. The collision with the car didn't kill him, but he wasn't wearing a seatbelt, so he continued on his journey. When he hit the inside of the car, that didn't kill him, but his internal organs carried on the track. Artery from his heart was torn. And that's what killed Richard.
Collaboration between university and enterprise, prioritizing creativity, innovating and entrepreneurial thinking to match graduate and industry demands in the global space. Discover how we keep winning awards through education that de-risks uncertainties, a bold and beautiful future that awaits. In Indian University, advancing knowledge and creating
They say love nas scam.
But maybe, just maybe, it's only a scam till you meet the right one.
Independent television and radio conjunction with Efidosa Catering Services, Amena Academy invite you to an unforgettable night of love, laughter, and timeless memories.
Couples Classic Old School Edition,
Let's take a step back into the golden era.
where love was intentional, music was soulful, and connection meant something deeper.
Proudly supported by Resource Positioning Limited, powered by UK, the EU Migration Limited, in partnership with Resource, brings to you Pathway for families to migrate to the UK via employment visa and dependent sponsorship routes. Benefits: Pathway to UK residency and British citizenship.
Thank you so much for staying with us on the program TMI on the ITV network here in our Benin Network Center. Let's talk to someone who is part of the Edo State government, the special advisor to the senior special assistant rather to the Edo State governor on special duties, Alex Uriesi, who joins us virtually on the show this morning, looking at Edo State under review infrastructural development under Okpebholo's administration. Alex, it's good to have you and thank you for joining us on the program this morning.
Thank you very much.
All right. It's been more than a year that the governor was sworn in as the executive governor of Edo State, but in some quarters, probably the opposition party, they will tell you the governor is not doing anything, but some persons in another divide will say, oh, the governor has been trying in his developmental stride in terms of infrastructure, looking at some things that are ongoing, which definitely you are privy to. Give us, a brief and tell us, has the governor really met the expectations of the people who voted for him?
Thank you very much. Good morning to you all. I could see the smile on your face when you asked that.
I'm naturally I smile. This is me. So don't tie my question to me smiling.
The smile is because of the amount of development is going on in Edo State. It is not easy. Just a governor that just came in. How long? We want to stop screaming about Ramat Park. But Ramat Park is no more the legacy of the governor, but the legacy of Edo-lites. Ramat Park is the legacy of all Edo people. Can you see how beautiful that bridge looks? Can you see how beautiful Ramat Park is coming to light? Ramat Park is about to become a business hub because of the ease of access, ease of in and out, ease of transportation of goods. Before you know now, all vehicles and goods coming in from everywhere will pass Ramat Park because of the accessibility and the grade of the kind of job that has been done there. Let's not forget that the amount of road being done around Edo State has moved from 200 kilometers to about 400 kilometers of road network going on in Edo State. Do you now understand that there is now a new road connecting Esa to Auchi? There's a new road that he created to ease access. Do you know that most governors will not create new roads because of the amount of money it would take? But because of he has the people at heart, he has created a new road, a new route. So you can imagine how much that would take. Clearing paths into bushes, into forest, just to create road. That is somebody who cares for the people. Have you looked at the development of the schools that are being renovated? See, you talked about the opposition. I don't think we have an opposition again in Edo State because the opposition are now praising the governor.
Let me cut you there. You can't say that. You can't say that. Democracy thrives with both the opposition and the ruling party. There's an opposition party in the state, so you cannot rule that away. Problem. You can't say that. There's an opposition party.
But what I'm trying to say now is that the opposition are acknowledging the amount of development in Edo State to turn a side eye. It is not possible. It is not possible. When you see good things, you praise good things. That is how we were raised. So they are saying the good things and they are praising the governor. Yes, there's an opposition, as you so claim, no problem. But they are saying the good works of the governor. I don't want to. It almost sounds like we are singing a particular song every day. But when a song touches your heart, you keep singing it. The governor is working. Look at what happened in Ekpoma, the unrest. It was solved under 24 hours. Why? Because it was staged, it was planned. But His Excellency came to the aids of the citizens, came came to the aid of the common man in under how many minutes? He was in Epoma for how long, just to solve that issue. And just so you know, that the road in Epoma is also being done, first class grade cement road by BUA. Don't forget that. Don't forget the development that is going on in Udomi, trying to transform Indomie into a mega city, having and bringing in industries and partners to kickstart our state on another, so we don't kill Benin City. So there is so much going on at the same time. He approved 5 more new roads from the last SEC meeting he had with the cabinet. So you can imagine how much is coming. I keep saying, I don't want to sound like we are praising, but the work is evident and we can see.
All right, Mr. Alex, thank you so much for that interesting submission. Now, one of the things that has been going on or bedeviling Nigeria is the issue of insecurity. And I remember when he came into power, he did state that he's going to give Edo people security. Now, in terms of security, how do you think this administration has actually played, considering what we've seen so far in places like Isako, the last one that happened at the AAU Epoma axis? How would you say that your principal has fared as regards security in Edo State?
I assure you that Edo State is one of the only states that have set up a proper security task force to deal with both kidnapping, insecurity, and unrest in the state. The task force is working so hard that you and I can both assure that we do not hear anything about cultism again. I personally ran a campaign for His Excellency on anti-cultism. Cultism is dead and gone. And now it has transformed, or it has moved into what we now call kidnapping. Now, let's understand that what we are trying to categorize as an Edo problem is a problem for the whole Nigeria in itself. And do not forget that the armed forces are presently engaging these bandits that are migrating into other places to cause chaos and unrest in the forest. Right now, the U.S. is working with the military, providing intelligence to subdue their major source. And that is why they are going down by the numbers. Apart from that, His Excellency's task force is made up of the very best of intelligence in police, NSCDC, DSS, and other outfits. The anti-cultism units have now developed into a partnership with the security outfits. I can tell you we had the best of December, the best, or the last silent, quiet December that we had. And I'm sure it upset a lot of people that they have now tried to make it look as if the state is under a kidnapping spree, but it is not. You and I both ply our routes every day. I go to the village, you do. His Excellency mostly goes to the... So you can imagine the amount of security that is being laid down. Work is being going. It's an ongoing process. I don't want to compare our state to other states, but you can see how they are dealing it and how we are dealing with ours. And ours is progressive, definitely.
Okay, Alex, let's delve into the education sector, because you made mention of that. Well, let's delve in details. Do you actually think your principal, which is the governor, has really done well when it comes to education? Because we're seeing that even some schools are still in a very dilapidated state, which really ought not to be. Because we're in the dry season now, probably that's the reason why some of the media houses are not reporting schools with leaking roofs. Those in the villages where you have no teachers, yes, we can admit that about 5,000 teachers were employed recently, but the employment, basically, have these people been, sent to the classroom? Because there's nothing anybody will say. Education still remains the bedrock of every society, whether people out there, some persons try to tell you school is scam and all that, but we don't believe in that. Education remains the bedrock. So talking about education, what has the governor really done that the people can actually say he has done so much in that sector as well? Because you made mention of, because most of the things everybody says now when you talk of infrastructural development, anything that the first thing people mention is the flyover at Ikpoba Hill, the flyover in Adesuwa, but beyond all of that, because it is the people who has good welfare that will definitely fly a flyover. Someone who does not have good welfare cannot fly a flyover. Education, what has the governor done in that aspect?
Thank you very much. I want to also appreciate you guys for the smile you're giving me at the back there, which is very good, because I'm about to hit it right from the head. when His Excellency came into power, he declared a state of emergency on education, which goes to say, and in a way, if we emphasize or expand that, it goes to say that he is going to take more proactive measures on education. When we came into power, a lot of schools were dilapidated, as you have said. A lot of schools, as far as I'm concerned, by my calculation, through the Commissioner of Education, Dr. Paddy himself, about 60 schools have been renovated. But let's not also forget that the state is big. We were handed over what you have called dilapidated, and we are trying to restore. And to restore does not take 1 day, does not take 1 year, does not take 2 years, does not take just 4 years, you know. But by His grace, we've been able to renovate 60 schools. Just of recent, we did, and we renovated the Army Day School and so many other schools. About last week, we saw the school that was abandoned because of the level of ruins it was in, and it's been brought back to life. The students are happy, and the students are back to school. Dr. Paddy, the Commissioner for Education, has been given a mandate to do his very best on education. And I can assure you that Dr. Paddy is one of the high-ranking commissioners that has been doing very well in his assignment. The school and the students are very happy. The students are singing. The students are saying, "Thank you, Mr. Governor, for giving us hope for the future." Even the teachers are undergoing training, because I saw that the chairman of SUBEB also took the teachers on training, because we cannot just be building schools and not train our teachers to teach our students for the brightest of tomorrow. The schools are being worked on. The schools are not just being worked on, but the teachers are being worked on also. A lot of schools are in renovation process, and like you said, it's dry season, so a lot is happening now. Even a lot of roads that were abandoned are now being done now because it's dry season. The schools are being renovated. Before students came into session for the new year, a lot of schools were reopened with lots of new facilities and new renovations and infrastructure. This one, you see, when we were doing interview last year, I was telling you, or I was not too sure. Now, I am very sure of what His Excellency Senator Monday Okpebholo is doing. And it's not child's play. It is evident. If it wasn't evident, I'll be hiding my face and be telling you this, that, but there is evidence. And if you want, we could take another interview, and I'll run you down the schools that His Excellency has worked on. But I assure you, every school will be attended to in this administration. The students and the youths and the kids are not left out. For the adult kid is going to have a brighter future through His Excellency Senator Monday Okpebholo.
Me, Mr. Alex, yes. So it's a new year, 2026. The year is still fresh. The slate is pretty clean. What should Edo people be expecting from Senator Monday Okpebholo moving forward in this year and also in the coming years?
So it doesn't look as if I bought you guys and see you guys are smiling all the time. But I can say this for sure. His Excellency has a master plan now for Edo State. Edo is going to become an industrial hub where all our youths are going to be refined into tech, and industries are going to be created. His Excellency bought about the state acquired about 400 hectares of land that is now into agriculture at the Esa side. Now he has gotten another 400 or so hectares of land at the south side, so that we can also farm on the other side. So in just no time, Edo is going to be an agricultural producing state, and then industries are going to be made to store and facilitate this produce so that we can then export and sustain food sustainability within Edo State. I know it might sound like I have so much to say, but I do have so much to say because I have seen a lot, and I know what His Excellency is working on. Soon there's going to be a master plan for progression and how Edo State will progress, even when he hands over power, so that there is sustainability of development. So I'm assuring you that Edo State is going to a place that a lot of governors and a lot of other states will want to copy. And
all right.
Even
Alex,
ITV will be so proud to have us as a government.
Let me cut you there a little bit quickly before we wrap up, because there is always no time to talk so much when it comes to issues like this, but we always have time to engage more. Lately, we started hearing or started seeing news flying about Edo Air. It struck my mind. Is this what we need at this time in Edo? people who cannot feed, people who don't have money to pay transport fare to Auchi, how would they have money to buy air tickets if Edo Air comes on board? Do you think this is the right step in the right direction? Edo Air. Why not focus on the Edo Line, ECTS, the ones that the average common man can actually afford? Why airline in a state that is tagged as civil service state? How many persons can actually buy air ticket? Where is your idea of the Edo Air coming from? Quickly, before we wrap up.
Let's not forget that Edo State was one of the states to first float an airline back in the day that everybody is copying now. And because we fell out of it, doesn't mean we don't still own the airspace. We have Edo Line, yes, but having an airline is even better. You know why? Because there will be an increase of IGR. There'll be an increase of more money for the states to even do other things. If we don't take on big investments, how do we get big money to do other things? You know, the level of when you go to Lagos and you see those skyscrapers, it gives you an idea of industrialism and for people to come in to do business. That is what Edo Airline is. Edo Airline is a hope for all the Edo indigenes and giving us that strength to know that the state will be stable. Is it what we need right now? It is what we needed so many years back. And because the former administrations did not see it in their view, doesn't mean it can't be in the preview of His Excellency Senator Monday Okpebholo. And just like I said last, so I don't say too much, he has a master plan. And if he's doing an airline, it means there is so much he's doing that will sustain the common man in Edo State. Yes, not everybody will fly an airline, but everybody will take Edo Line. Let's imagine if he didn't do Edo Line and he was doing an airline. They will say, he didn't do for the common man. So he has done for the common man, and he's trying to increase our IGR so we can get more for the state, which is Edo Line, bring more people to Edo State. Because the more people we have, the more businesses and industrialists and industrial people that would come. We don't want to have shortage of flights to Edo State when people are coming to invest. So he's opening the playing field for everyone to come in and do their best.
All right, Mr. Alex, I'm pretty sure everybody would want to fly at some point, even those that haven't flown before would want to fly because Edo is shining at the end of the day. Now, thank you so much, Mr. Alex Uresi, SSA on Special Duties, EDSG. Thank you so much for gracing our conversation this morning.
All right, thank you so much for joining us again, Alex. We'll take a break now. TMI continues shortly in our other network centers. Stay with us.
Ugeni Madonna, Imazedion, Orero, obviously Agbe, Emanazo, or Ugeni Madonna.
You will have to serve the community for 30 years before you come to this stage. They will ordain you ordain title. Then by then you are one of the elder.
This year now, we don't read the year, so that's why we can do this year.
Historically, joining the Elders Council, an individual must have reached a certain age and must have made significant contributions to the community through leadership, service, or other meaningful ways. There was jubilation in the community as sons and daughters of Okada, both at home and in the diaspora, trooped out to be part of the ceremony with various homes of the initiates agog with festivities. Friends and well-wishers of those initiated into the Elders Council jubilated at the Ogwedion after performing all traditional rites. The elders, known as Edion, in company with their loved ones, danced to their various homes where guests and family members were entertained.
ITV, certainly the best.
Thank you so much, Alex and Anu there, looking at the performance of Governor Monday Okpawolo, the one they call Paco Miza and Paco Wonder, and asking questions about the Edo Air. That is what the people of Edo State desire at the moment here. But so many questions here. But somehow I can't connect that to the flyover. When it started and everyone was asking, is it flyover that we needed at the moment? And that sometimes reflects, sometimes to when the man works so hard and God blesses you and you give woman money, she asks you, is it money that is everything? But it's still okay, let's go. That's what governance is, when you have critical thinkers and persons who are very vibrant opposition to ask questions to those in authority to give account, because they are in that office are holding trust for the public. Now, the FCT Area Council will be having an election conducted not like the one you see across, but this one will be conducted by the National INEC. And this election will be coming up in just slightly above 3 weeks from now. But if you look around the FCT, it appears as though nothing so much is happening. Unlike what we used to see before, when all the political parties hit the street running, where you find FCTA issuing statement warning politicians against extreme pasting of posters on bridges, on certain sensitive national monuments. For this one, we are not seeing that campaign very much, with many persons talking about it, that why is the FCT going into an election, unlike before, the flame and the storm and the beauty and the glamour of campaign is independent television, Abuja Broadcast Network Center. The program is this morning on ITV. Now we've been joined by a public affairs analyst, a key stakeholder in the FCT political structure, and one who have been actively involved in grassroots politics in the FCT and have been following very, can I say comrade or Mr.?
Oh, okay, honorable, it's okay.
Okay, Honorable Robert Madake. You say it's honorable. Okay, thank you very much, but not right honorable.
Yes, not right
okay,
honorable.
now let's start with now. We have an election coming on board, and we're not seeing the flair, the glamour. By this time, some years ago, Abuja is already going up in flames politically, and everyone is dancing. You could hear them, you could see it. What is happening?
Okay, so essentially, the approach towards election campaigning in Amak has evolved. So it's not much about billboards and posters all over the place, you know, but it's about community engagement, stakeholder engagement across the various areas, the interests, you know. So there is a lot of underground work going on within AMAC. There's a lot of stakeholder engagement going on.
But how do you do that work?
Yes. So basically, yes. Yes.
You don't know what's happening.
Yes. So even now we are not sleeping, we are not resting.
But I mean, we on the street feels the vibe.
Yes. So what is happening is that there's going to be a very heavy push towards the end of the process of the campaign season. Towards the days leading to the election, you are going to see a lot of activity. So a lot of energy is being projected. The challenge generally action. There is a very
let's now come to the political analyst, if you agree with me, Honorable, about the one-party democracy and its effect on your party, the YPP, is not suffering for now. You appear to have got your house in order.
Yes.
But the APC, the PDP is almost in shreds, with the PDP candidate becoming the APC candidate. The LP is almost in shreds. The ADC, I know they are going in and out of court. What impact does this have on the area council election?
Okay, so generally, yes, there is the idea that there is APC seems stable, but I can tell you for free that the only reason why the APC structure looks stable is because they are in power. So they are more.
So are you saying it's boiling?
Yes, it's a pot.
Boiling on the ground.
There's going to be an implosion.
Okay.
Yes, because you have too many strange bedfellows, you know, in a system. So it's not. The reason many people are there is because it's the party in power.
But there are strange bedfellows, and the pot from which they will eat is big enough. They can keep peacefully.
So that's the problem now. If no matter how big the pot is, if you have too many greedy people, you know, it's not going to be enough. So that is the problem. So, and there is the analogy of when they say the eagles, where the
carcass is, where the vultures are gathered.
Vultures are gathered. You know, vultures are not desirable animals. You know, so
are you comparing our ruling party
to
a gathering of political vultures?
There is always a tendency for
Mr. Mada, Honorable, are you not too harsh?
No, there's always a tendency, historically speaking, for certain kinds of elements to be drawn to power.
Okay.
You know, so they try to get into the systems where they're in the good books of those who are in power. And a lot of times, people in power tend to try to work with those kinds of people because they have certain advantages, but the disadvantages far outweigh the advantage. The disadvantage is that as a country we suffer having people like that around the corridors of power. The advantage is only accruable to the person in power. Now, one of the major things that we forget as a people is that all political power is transient. You cannot stay there forever.
Do we remember that?
No, we don't remember that, and I think that is a major challenge with us as a people, Nigeria, that we tend to forget, you know, and there is a problem in Nigeria which we love our oppressors. We like people that oppress us. We celebrate them, you know. There are a lot of things other places they will not take, but in Nigeria we seem to enjoy taking those things as long as it doesn't affect us. And we look at Nigeria through the eye of tribalism, through the eye.
Okay, now I'm coming. Let's not talk, because we are looking for a seat.
Yes.
And the area council is coming, and I want you to dwell a little bit. You are contending with me, Kalangu.
Yes.
This is not a campaign forum. Yes, but how will you rate me, Kalangu?
I will rate him very poorly.
Okay, that means you are saying Christopher is a failure.
No, he has failed. He failed.
Explain why you think Christopher Kalangu failed.
So the issue about Christopher Kalangu is very simple, and it's evident for us to see. The signs are all over the place. It's not a statement of being accusing somebody. It's a statement of fact.
Okay.
Yes. So if you go into the primary healthcare system, you go into the primary school systems, to look at sanitation, for example. A lot of people mistakenly or erroneously think that the FCTA is responsible for sanitation.
In the area councils? In
the area councils. But by law, it is the law is given to the area council by law. And not just by law.
You are saying all the refuse dump we see in Karo, Nyanya, everywhere.
It is
Kalangu is the one who did not evacuate them.
They did not. The area council, show me one truck for evacuating of the...
But there's an environment department in Amak.
The environment department in Amak is not...
We have a super environment.
So that system is not adequately funded to the level of the revenue it gathers.
Okay.
So if you look at the revenue and then you look at the system of operation, it's very dormant, and only reactive. And you only see action when we have a time like this, like election period. There's come for ways to pack refuse. The amount of money that has been spent by Kalangu to upload and put billboards all over the city would clear. Yes. If you do well as an incumbent in Amak, your work will speak for you. The better administrators have come into Amak and have been the chairman of Amak. Better.
But as we go,
as good as they were, their efforts were not good enough to get them a second.
As we go into the election now, Kalangu believes he's the best man.
So you cannot self-evaluate.
But he believes that Shakespeare said only you are the one who can know yourself better.
In public sphere, especially as a public office holder, you cannot be the one in your performance. Value the performance is the people who voted you in, and they are the ones that can tell you or not. So when you don't have a feedback mechanism.
Okay, what about all the commendation Wiki is giving him? When sometimes they dance together in some of these.
The same Wiki has also accused him in public, or even derided him in public.
But sometimes after that one, after 2-3 days, I don't know what happened, they come back again and dance and.
It's political. It's political. So, and the essence is that regardless of whatever transpires, even as the minister of the FCT, he has his own responsibilities, statutory responsibilities, as does the chairman of the local, of the area council. Now, those responsibilities are supposed to be guided by the constitutional provisions. Now, within that system, if you just take a look at it from that angle, you could give the FCT minister a pass mark, but you cannot give Mekalangu a pass mark. In fact, Mekalangu is appalling that he's campaigning on the platform of the work that the FCT minister has done. So it's a minus actually to the FCT minister. How much better would Amak have been if you had a vibrant chairman?
So you are saying that Mekalangu ought to have done his own groundbreaking?
Yes.
Would have done his own commissioning?
Yes.
But sometimes I think what his SSA, Kingsley Madaki, have said constantly was that some of his works in area council, they are not seen, but the people are feeling it.
No, that is wrong. I don't expect Mr. Madaki, who happens to be my namesake, to...
But you know him?
Yes.
You have met Mr. Kingsley, the SSA?
I'm not familiar with him, but
okay, he's a journalist.
Yes. So now I don't expect him to say anything other than that, because of course he's his boss, and all that. But if we are going to be honest, truly, if we are really going to be honest, Amak right now is a poster child for poor local government administration in Nigeria. being that AMAC is at the center, being that AMAC is the landlord of the presidency, being that AMAC, the senators and every other person that sits in the National Assembly see AMAC, it could also be that if AMAC is meant to be the one that will show an example why we should have local government autonomy. If you look at AMAC as it is now and you are in a position to make a decision on account of the current leadership in AMAC, would you give any grant autonomy to this kind of system? Okay,
what about the Wike factor in this election? The whole election we are going into now, many have raised the fact that Ezenwo, ES and Wike as a political what do you call it now, a political juggernaut or a political, somebody call it a political calculator. I don't know how you people describe, share those names to yourselves when you get to your meeting. Yes. Some are saying the Wike factor will be very much. That's going to come out, bulldoze its way through and give Tinubu 6/6.
Okay, so
for the APC. For the APC. Those a PDP member.
Yes, so that's the challenge now, which, first of all, each time I hear Wike's name comes in the mix.
But when you go to your meeting in YPP and other political parties, the name Wike resonates?
So in YPP, the name Wike doesn't resonate.
But when you meet with your other political party member, other members of other parties and their candidates, you all meet with the FCT INEC.
So essentially, we've had meetings in INEC and all that. Now Wike's name doesn't come up. Okay. Yes. So in fact,
when you meet at night, so Wike's name, when you meet at your night meeting, all of you like to hold meeting at night.
Wike's name mostly has come to me when I come to press forums. So it's been the journalists that have been pushing this narrative.
So you don't discuss that name at your political meeting at night?
So the issue is that Wike is not running for AMAC.
But they say he would determine 6/6.
In what way?
He promised to give 6/6 for the APC.
So in what way? How does 6/6 come into
That means APC will win the 6 local government, 6/6.
Okay. So now, if he's saying that, or if such statement is credited to him, you know, is he going to go on the campaign trail with Mekalangu? Is he, he's voting in AMAC, I don't know, whether he's voting in AMAC or he's voting in Obiapo local government, whichever one. Is he coming in as a voter? Is he coming in as a party member? Or
what about as a powerful influencer?
So in what way? Is it to determine the results of the election or what? Because we need to understand that we need to interrogate those statements, because a number of people have heard this said over and over, and to be honest with you, like I said earlier on, it's only in the press, you know, that this question has been put to me, in the sense that, okay, Wike influence, and it's the first time in the history of AMAC that we're hearing that. So, and what does that mean?
But you don't expect him to be like Bello, who gave free hands to everybody.
It's not only Bello.
And El-Rufai.
It's not only Bello.
Bello, El-Rufai, maybe, but I know Bala Mohammed and others.
There's no statutory responsibility or role for the FCT minister in determining outcome of election.
But you know, this particular one is not taking it, it's not lying low on the matter.
So that's the question. The question is that at the end of the day, the people who will determine the outcome of the election in AMAC are the people. It's still the people.
Are you sure?
Yes, it's still the people.
Are you very sure?
It's the responsibility of the people. No matter how powerful a political entity is, they know, even the individual knows, that the people, you know, if they decide the outcome, you can't change it.
But the moment he told Mekalangu to move to APC, he moved. The Kuje guy moved. The Buhari guy moved. Why is he telling all of them to move and they are moving?
So the question is that I've had conflicting reports about why they moved, and it's not that they moved because he told them.
But he told them on live television that he said he told them to move. You watch that clip on the monthly chat.
So the issue is that having a conversation around Wike and his decision to tell people to move into the
party or to influence the election.
Influence the election is counterproductive for Nigerians in the sense that, number one, you cannot force the people of AMAC to eat feces. And I'm not saying that in an insultive way. That's to say, right now, AMAC is dirty. Okay. We've known Wike over time to be somebody who generally personifies excellence in his work. Okay. Apart from political, there's no personal life issues or all that. But so when it comes to work, so are we saying that Wike is validating failure.
Okay, I think that means you're saying that if Wike supports Mekalangu, which he is doing, he is reinforcing failure.
Yes, because you don't reward, in life, you don't reward failure.
But I think we'll take a short break, a very short break. When we return from the short break, we'll let's take a very, very, very short break. When we come back from the short break, I'll be concluding my discourse with Honorable Robert Madaki as we look at the FCT Area Council election. So much in the front burner after this break. Okay, thank you so much for staying with us. The program is still this morning on Independent Television ITV, broadcasting from our Abuja Network Center here in Mpape District of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. We are looking at the February area council election, and I've been discussing with Honorable Robert Madaki, a staunch politician and a public affairs analyst, and one who is a key stakeholder. And before the break, we're looking at the influence of FCT Minister Ezonwo Wike on it. I've been told that Comrade Amaka Adebayo will be joining us via Zoom once he's ready. Our producer will be bringing him on board, but we just got about 6 minutes to take you straight okay, if you're there. Thank you. If you can hear me very quickly, Comrade Mark Adebayo, can we quickly, Comrade Adebayo is the convener of the New Direction for Nigerian Movement and national spokesperson, Coalition of United Political Parties. Now, Mr. Comrade Mark Adebayo, quickly, what are your take on these forthcoming area council election? What special thing are we expecting, particularly as publicity is at its record low level at this time?
Yeah, thank you so much. One would expect that both INEC and the contestants, and the political parties that are participating in this election, will be out there engaging in massive political education of the residents of the FCT. I have not been seeing much of that. One will expect that, especially the people, those who are the candidates, that should be out there, mobilizing the people, talking to the people, and we don't seem to be seeing a kind of the activities, the kind of actions expected during elections. It does seem that there is a kind of it's either that both voter apathy and candidate apathy in this election, because it is supposed to be that they are out there, campaigning, talking to the people, meeting people community by community. This is the grassroots election. We are the people who are involved. We are the people. The communities are relevant about that, and there is the people. If you don't mobilize the people well enough, you are likely to have a very low voter.
Comrade Mark Adebayo, you raised something there, and I think we may be looking at that. You raised the issue of with voter apathy. Now, he has talked about candidate apathy for the first time. Quickly, comrade, what should be done now to address all of these problems you have mentioned? Our time is almost up.
Well, the candidates have to up their games. They have to up their games, and nobody should take the resident of FCT for granted. And then, if anybody, because some of these things will happen because maybe some power somewhere have already written the result, they have already concluded, so they don't bother to contact the people. Our democracy needs to be improved. Our elections need to be improving, and INEC must be at the top of its game in this particular election, because whether you like it or not, local government elections are the most important as far as community development are concerned. So INEC needs to do more, the candidates need to do more, the people are waiting to see who is coming to campaign and to ask and to seek their vote. But we are not seeing that in all this.
But time appears to be running out. Quickly, Comrade Robert Madaki, can we get your final talk on this preparation for it? Is YPP a big name?
So yes, in AMAC,
can you pull a surprise?
We are going to pull a surprise.
How would you pull a surprise? With Wike raining brimstone at this time? So
with Wike raining brimstone and whatever, we are not focused on Wike, because I think that whole narrative or conversation is a distraction. And Comrade Mark Adebayo mentioned what they call it,
candidate apathy. What's your take on that word, quickly? So, candidate apathy. That means candidates are not even willing to even campaign. Or
I have a strong inclination to believe that there are a number of people that are running for running sake and popularity.
Okay.
But in AMAC, in YPP, and other area councils, YPP is out to run, to win, to make a difference.
Okay, thank you very much, Comrade Robert Madaki, public affairs analyst. One that believes that he will pull a surprise in the election. We just hope that the forces that meets at night will allow you to pull that surprise, because politics are going to be more spiritual. Some say the more you look, the less you see. Thank you very much. Thank you. We wish you all the very best. Okay, thank you for staying. It's now time for us to look at the clamor for a balance in the Tinubu presidency, should he ticket of the All Progressive Congress to run for next year's presidential election. Many are saying there is the need for a balance when it comes to religion. Should he drop Kashim Shettima, or should he go on with his current vice president? From our Lagos Network Center, Victoria and her team will be discussing on that after this break.
Omonoba Nedu Ukwakolopolo, Ewai II, Oba of Benin, stepped out majestically with loud crowd to perform the Sotun rites of his late mother, Queen Mother Ioba Omoni Ikwo.
Thank you and welcome onto our Lagos Network studio. Thank you for staying tuned. I'm Patricia Uremu Gabriels. And then from our Lagos Network studio, we will be looking at the storm in APC. Shettima's fate dividing APC. Is it really dividing APC? Will his fate be a problem for APC come 2027? Will stopping him to have the vice presidential ticket be a problem for APC come 2027? Although all this has been said as a rumor, but we are just going to be looking into it just in case that is exactly what is happening in the party APC. I am Patricia Uremu Gabriels, and thank you for staying in tuned. I have in the house Mr. Tony Ojay, who is going to be discussing he's going to be discussing this with me this morning. Mr. Tony Ojay is a political analyst, and of course we're happy to have him in the house this morning.
Welcome. Thank you so much, Patricia.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's just go straight to our discussion for today. We will be looking at the Shettima's fate. You know, like people say, we don't know. Of course, it's a rumor. We're not so sure, because we've had a presidential spokesperson who came out to say it's all rumors. But then again, some rumors turns out to be true in Nigeria, especially when it comes to politics. 90% of these rumors comes out to turn out to be true. So if it is true, let's assume it is true. If it is true, will APC actually divide?
I don't think so. How would APC divide? You know, we're talking about the president who has been a governor, served 8 years as governor of Lagos State. While he served as governor of Lagos State, he had Femi Pedro, the Ogbogunle, the other six. He has spent 3 years so far. By next year, another 10 years. And if he feels it's time for Shettima to, you know, if he feels it's time he lets Shettima go, I don't see any problem there.
Okay,
it's his constitutional right to determine who run the race with him. So if you feel, then we had this issue of Muslim
ticket.
So if he feels we want to correct it at this point, nobody can hold him to it. And I don't think it will divide APC.
Oh, but do you think there's been complaints from the APC is the reason why he wants to, drop him?
I don't think it's, of course, who will challenge it or go and meet the president. No. I think it's his own personal, he has his own personal reason to do so. It's his prerogative to choose who runs with him. APC cannot go and meet him. No, he knows it. They call him political strategist. When it comes to politics, of course, you can't take it away from Tinubu. So he knows what he's doing. He doesn't need an APC, NWC, or APC stakeholders to come tell him what to do. He approached Shettima. A lot of people Dugara and Co were there and, put forward and drafted before him. But he said, no, I want to go with Shettima. And this is another election election cycle coming. I know from from 2023, he won't go into second term with Shettima. Everybody knows that.
Do you have a reason why?
A lot. You know what's happening at the moment. For instance, this America interference in our politics because of Christian genocide in the north. And you can see they are not dictating, but their body language is speaking in one direction. And so the president too is trying to not to scatter the arrangement so far he has made in correcting all the anomalies picked out by the Americans. You cannot run a Muslim. Let's even start from there. Let's be realistic. You can't. This is a secular state. You can't run a Muslim ticket in a secular state. No religion is bigger than the other. You can't be the president. El-Rufai did it in Kaduna then, and he went away with it. We're talking about Nigerian presidency. It worked for him then, but it can't work again now.
Okay, so
he doesn't even need anybody to tell him that. So if he feels this is the time to correct the mistake I made in the past, no problem. I have no reason.
Okay, so Shettima has his supporters, you know that, and these supporters are not comfortable with this decision. I mean, because they've been singing it and shouting, why do you want to take him out? He has not caused a problem. There's not been a problem between the Muslim ticket. It has not caused any problem in Nigeria. So why do you want to take him out in 2027? Do you think that will be a major problem in this forthcoming elections?
They don't get any problem. I'm the governor. I picked my deputy. We've done 4 years. He's my deputy. He won on my ticket. Just like my ministers, I appointed them. All the cries we've been hearing, there's been going around the media, comes from the camp of Shettima. I don't think it has anything to do with Tinubu presidency. And it's not by force you run again with the president. If you've done 4 years, it's enough. Your name has been, written on that book. So why are you making it difficult for yourself? Because I know the president can compensate Shettima after this.
How?
No, there are a lot of appointments. There are a lot of ways you can say, thank you for joining my team in the past 4 years. So it's not a must to go again with him. It shouldn't generate any controversy. It's not written anywhere that he must go again with the president for another 4 years. It's not written anywhere. So when I hear people talk about this, I think, I know where it's coming from. Yeah, I know where it's coming from. 4 years is enough for you to prove yourself. And if you're good, position yourself again. There will come a time, Shettima is young. There will come a time, you can even take a shot at the presidency yourself. So why so that it doesn't spoil the relationship between himself and the president. You should tell those people who are making this noise, so please, calm down, because even the president has not said, I'm not going to run with him again in 2027. So it's just speculative. But it's coming from somewhere. Some people are, sponsoring this.
Okay, so that's what I'm going to ask. Is it that there's some big wings in the APC that are not comfortable with Shettima?
No,
or with the Muslim ticket, so to say.
Exactly. It's not
Shettima himself.
It's not being personal. Yeah, it's not about Shettima. It's about the Muslim. A lot of people, spoke against it in 2023. And the president was adamant about it. And he won on the Muslim ticket. But the dynamics has changed. We're talking about 2027. Definitely, this is not 2023. People are still angry that you even did that. You must balance it. We're talking about a Muslim-Christian country. If you make that mistake then, and you flee with it, and the voting pattern will change this time around. The Christian feel, and then a lot of things that happened, the Christian, the killings and all that. There will be a big shift this time. So I'm sure he has looked at it, and he said, okay, this time I will do it right. He knows, and he hasn't even spoken. So all those people panicking should just wait. He has not said anything. We have between now and 8 months' time for him to take that decision. And wherever he goes, but I feel he has to correct some errors he made then. He has to correct it. And me, I've seen it. If I go that way, I may not win election. To a politician, it's all about winning election. It's all about winning election. So people should stop crying, especially from that camp. Some people are sponsoring it. It has to stop. They shouldn't draw a wedge between the president and his vice. He's been busy working, he has been engaged all this while. So let them not...
Okay, so that's going to bring me to the question, although it's far from what we're talking about, but Nigerians have started complaining. You think Mr. President is working is the reason why he's always out of the country?
No, it's a different ballgame. He's not working. You're traveling all the time doesn't mean you're working. You're not working. It can't be a visiting president to your country. He traveled all the time. He came back last week and he's traveling again. He said he's on a state visit to Turkey. No, it's not working. It's not by travel. Every day you hear they want to bring in investors into the country, and we're not seeing them. This is almost the fourth year. By next year, you're done. You've done your first tenure. Where are the investment? So it's not about travel. It's not by traveling. You must say you must engage your people. Since he became, the president of this country, how many times have you engaged the media and you speak directly to the people? You've not done that.
Especially with everything going on.
No. On that part, he hasn't done anything regarding that. Shettima is doing his best. He travels for 2 weeks. He doesn't transfer power. I don't want to go into.
Okay, let's not go into that.
Shettima is doing his duty, but all those who are trying to distract him, you need to call them to order. You need to call them to order until the president say, "Oh, you're not going to fly with me." Then he can take it up from there. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
But for now, he should not enjoy his political career because he knows the person he's working with. He's a politician true and true.
Okay. Let's look at accountability and then push, let's look at what's going on in APC. APC leaders often speak about party discipline. Why has the party struggled to manage this issue quietly?
Of course, APC is big. APC is a big party, just like PDP and co. So it can, and now, considering the fact that a lot of people are defecting into the party, from different states with their governors and all that. So they have, multitudes, and then to an extent you cannot control that kind of crowd. Of course, there are disciplinary measures.
I'm going to deviate from the questions of today.
Okay.
Because you just mentioned a lot of people are defecting to APC. Why do you think a lot of the governors are defecting to APC? Is there a particular reason? Because earlier on we had discussed this on TMI, so I'd like to get your view.
Governors defecting. I keep asking myself, does it mean that if they defect to APC, they'll get their state will win for APC? I don't think so. They have just one vote. They are defecting for their personal gains, not for the people. Because if you have your people at heart, if you run a people-oriented government, and you want to take such a step, what you ought to have done first is to engage your people and say, this is the direction I want to take. There are some states that have bought the APC in the past. My state, for instance, was a PDP state, all through. Until the current governor said, well, I think we have to go this way. Because they've met the president, I don't know what he tells them. Look at Kano, the same. I don't know what he tells them. Why I said it's for personal gains, because they don't tell people what they, he calls them, they sit in Nassau Rock, then the next thing, I want to defect so we can assess federal, rubbish. Rubbish. Because if you're defecting for the interest of your state, you must engage from the ward level, local government, then at the state level. You must engage stakeholders. People must say, we have been here before for a long time. Please, I want to shift. I'm selling this idea because if we shift to point A, these are the benefits. It's for all of us. And then, feedback. You do it at the ward, do it at the state, at the local government. Then when you get to the state, you can then collate. It must be a rigorous exercise. You don't just come and within 1 week. That's when you don't take people that's when you're for granted. You think they don't matter because truly they don't matter. All this election, come to my state and come to my party, come and because you feel defect to my party, leave your party and all that. I think that's one state of them. Because you feel they will rig election for you. If you feel the people matter and their vote counts, it's not a matter of the party the governor defects to or the party the governor belongs.
It's the voters of
the
people.
It's the voters that matters. Yeah, because all this noise is about so that when they defect, at least I'm sure they will bribe voters. This time around, we're going to give them 50,000 or 20,000 naira each. It's just, that's all about it. And because the governor has the key to the cookie jar, it's easy. Because they believe in vote buying. That's all. If you believe there will be people, you will be talking to the people, not the governors. The people, looking to them, engaging them, bringing development to them. Because those are the things that we use in assessing. At the end of the day, not the governors. Because the governors are just there. They are figureheads to you. The people, those days we look up to these people, but they don't care about us anymore. And all of them are doing it the same way.
Do you think all this will be changed in 2027? Do you think the people are ready to change this for themselves?
The anger is there already, but then we're watching because they can manipulate anything. If you're the person there right now, it's just like someone is saying, just let me get there first. Electoral reforms, things that will make these things easy, they are refusing to touch it. So, just as I said, let's watch. And you have the Senate, you have a whole lot of things that are not working. Judiciary is in your pocket, the Senate, I mean, I don't, if it hasn't worked in 3 years, how is it going to work in months for the election? It's all about winning election. We are not close to election, but we've been campaigning since last year. And that's why this issue of Shettima came into. We are not close to election. But all we hear about Shettima, is angry and this president. Nobody's talking about development. Nobody's talking about good health care, a road network, shelter, education. It's all about politics. That is where the present administration is getting it wrong. It's not all about politics. But again, I understand the person there. Just sit down there, and then the next thing is about. That's why I join people who feel that once you get, let's just look at our constitution again and see how we can tweak it and amend it. Do 7 years and get out. So you don't start thinking about next election. It distracts. Once it's 2 years, you start thinking, how do I save money to bribe this, to do this? It's all about bribery. And who suffers? Us. That's where corruption comes in. This minister goes, He's going to steal because, of course, when the time comes, he's going to donate. So they are not focused. They are committed to the president, not to the people. You know, both from the local government down to the states, to the federal. It's been that. So, again, I don't see how it's going to change in the next couple of months to the election. The signs are not there.
Okay, Mr. Tony, I feel the pains, just like all Nigerians are feeling the same pains. But let's come back to the Shettima issue. Do you think this distraction in APC is going to give the other parties an edge over APC?
It's supposed to give them an edge. Ordinarily, you should give them an edge. But again, the other parties you mentioned, for instance, the coalition party that I see that's supposed to give them a run for their money, the ADC.
ADC, yeah.
You know, with P2B, Atiku,
and Co.
Serious political juggernauts, if they can actually come together, which I'm not seeing them do yet. If the earlier they get the acts together, the better. And then see again what's going on. Suddenly, the court is granting a PDP leave. My kind of, okay, open that place up so they can come and do the same to Labour. You know, I know what they're trying to causing disaffection. These are the people you've been holding. These are parties you've been holding like this. So suddenly you're leaving open, so that maybe this one that has gone to ADC can come back. So it gives you a leverage to defeat them. And you want to destabilize that coalition. It's simple political calculation. So they would have played a big role if we have them. If you say an opposition, ADC has been trying to, you know, play that role since they came together. And you can see the attack on them from that side, because they are seeing a threat in their direction. That's why I pray that ADC can just come together in the next couple of weeks, not months. Election is just, you know, just by the corner. Yes. All the processes just by the corner. And they are watching them to fail. But Nigeria need an opposition. Serious opposition. That's why it hurts that PDP is no longer, for me, I know they can actually get it right at the end of the day. If you remain focused and take away those distractions, Wike, Anyanwu, and Co. Look at the parties. Look at the parties. How can they play credible opposition to the present administration? Because the present occupiers of power in Nigeria today doesn't believe in opposition politics. And you can see what's going on. They've gone around the states. This government is defective. How do you even sleep? How do you feel when we don't have somebody challenging you? When someone corrects you, you go in. You may fight it, but when you think, it's okay, I'm getting this. Okay, you can't turn Nigeria to a one-party state. It's not possible. And so I see the next election, if we get some things right, especially electoral reform, because nobody's going to make that mistake again. In 2023, people came out to register because of one man. And INEC gave us hope that, well, you know, Obi is there. We want to say, okay, Nigeria will correct. And then this guy came, said, no, if you vote, your vote will count. It will hit the dashboard. People will see it. A lot of, and then disappointed. So if you tell Nigerians now to go through that same process, I doubt if they will commit their all into it. It was done in 2022, 23. I doubt. And the people there at the moment, they like it. They saw what happened that time. They don't want it to happen again. So they are doing everything to decimate it.
Okay, let's come back to ADC party. You know, we're asking if this crisis between Shettima not coming back with President Bola Tinubu in 2027 will affect or help the ADC to, you know, put themselves together and try to give them a fight, you know, for the money. But then again, we are seeing the issue between Atiku and Peter Obi in ADC. I don't think, because Obedience, the supporters of Peter Obi are saying he must have the presidential ticket. And of course, Atiku will not want to step down for FAP. Do you think this can be resolved in a few weeks, just like you said?
You see, it can be resolved. Those political leaders of repute. And if they have the interest of the country at heart, it's about sitting down in a room and saying to themselves, let's tell ourselves the truth. Can you step down for this? That's where I say, but it's usually difficult to do. I wish it's possible, but I'm not sure, because based on what I'm saying, Obi, for instance, from Labour Party, they came to ADC. ADC was formed by...
Mr. Tony, give me a minute. We're going to be going on a short break and we'll be right back. Please. Welcome back. It's the continuation of TMI from our Lagos Network studio. I am still here with Mr. Tony J. I got it right.
Correct.
Okay, so we were saying, do you think the ADC will be able to put themselves together in a few weeks, just like you said?
Yes. It depends on the level of sacrifice they're willing to give in. On Atiku, Peter Obi coming together, as you asked earlier, I have a problem. I have a problem with the way Obedience are asking that Obi should be given the ticket.
The ticket, yes.
Listen, we're talking about politics here. And I was suspecting that Peter Obi would have learnt a lesson from that time. I was expecting a situation after the election will form a political party. From the scratch, because if you go for an already existing political party, as usual, they will send their people there to cripple it. So form a brand new party, clinically clean, as in no dent, so that they won't come tomorrow and see how they can bring it down, just as they've been doing. That is what I expected him to do. Since last year, people have been asking, which party are you going? And a lot of people, including myself also, frustrated to the extent that at a point I just said, okay, let's watch. You don't wait for 2026 for a 2027 election before you take step. I think they come to ADC first of this year, of 26, which I think, for me, personally speaking, is wrong. By last year, so if you have obedient movements around the world, you're supposed to have formed a political party, brand new, and beg obedient to move into the party and register globally. By now, it would have been like you have something very tangible to hold on to. So going into ADC to demand for automatic tickets, it's not done. Some people went into the party, they cleaned it up, they faced some legal challenges, both from within and outside sponsored. But we're firm and said, this is the party we want to. They've approached other parties, they I don't want to call them, they go there, they scatter the whole thing. But this one, they picked it, they looked at it critically, looked for the founder and said, okay, I think I can sit here. And they formed a party. No, but then Obidien came and said, oh, so after some months, they've been, okay, we meet Obidien, they said, okay, Peter B was there at formation and all that. Then you can't come and say, give us that ticket. They're supposed to employ tact and diplomacy. It's not by grab. Because you're talking to politicians who have taken that risk to build a place. So if Obi must get it, it's not this normal way. Mr.
Tony, let me quickly ask this question. Okay, so before we round off this program, a lot of Nigerians have said that Atiku had tried to get this presidential ticket severally. He got it and he lost in the elections. That it should be a statement advising Peter Obi, just give him the ticket and say, go win and get Nigerians out of this trouble that they think they are. So do you think that's the right thing for Atiku to do?
It's not a bad idea.
In 1 minute.
It's not a bad idea. It's possible. Again, it's the approach. It can do it. I believe it can do it. Again, it's the approach. You don't do it by force. Just like you want to take something that belongs to someone and you're telling the person, you must let me have this iPad by force. But there are ways I will tell you, can I have it? You will give it to me.
So what's the last word?
Yeah, at this point, Atiku can actually, he has done his bit. Yes,
anyway, what's the last word? 1 second.
I pray for a good country, that's all.
Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Tony.
A better election 2027.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope we get a better election in 2027. Thank you for staying tuned. I'm Patricia Uremu Gabriels.
A beautiful morning. Welcome to the news update on Independent Television. I am Ahoy Davis. Members of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, in Edo South Senatorial District have held their first official senatorial meeting at the party Secretariat along Maritala Mohammed Way in Benin City. The meeting focused on unity, strategy, and preparations ahead of future elections. The report filed by Ibrahim Adedeji is presented by Oluwafemi Farayola.
In a move aimed at strengthening its political structure and grassroots presence, ADC chieftains, including the senatorial chairman, capacity leaders, and state youth leaders of the African Democratic Congress, Edo South District, were in attendance. The gathering marks a strategic step towards consolidation and mobilization ahead of the 2027 elections. In his remarks, ADC leader in Edo State, Honorable Sonny Agwebo, expressed confidence that the party will not only win the senatorial seats in the next election, but secure more positions across the state.
There's a lot of enthusiasm. Everybody's happy because people are embracing ADC every day. The entire Edo South, as we speak, is ADC. From Oredo to Bobaka to Ovia to Orion, everybody's talking ADC because it's the only alternative. If elections are conducted today in Edo State, ADC will not only win its senatorial seat, ADC will win all the House of Representatives seats. So we are just laying the foundation for that victory.
A former Senator Chief Whip, Senator Roland Owe, said Nigeria needs urgent rescue, saying that ADC remains the party capable of repositioning the country.
What Nigeria needs today is to be rescued, and ADC is the party to do it. And by the grace of God, they will not fail.
Capacity leader Honorable Ekundayo explained the mission of the senatorial meeting, emphasizing that ADC is prepared to deliver the change Nigerians are yearning for.
ADC is very formidable in Edo South. Everybody should know that when they want to come to this party is open. They have leaders in Edo South that are willing to make sure that come 2027, ADC will win the general election. And we're going to defend our vote. We're going to make sure that, yes, we can canvass voters to come out, the masses to come out and vote.
The Edo South Senatorial Chairman, Senator Iyari Bernard, said the meeting was convened to promote unity and strengthen collaboration among all ADC members in the district.
We want to build an ADC United Edo South so that we can be able to defeat the ruling party.
From Benin, Oluwafemi Farayola, ITV News.
Guest on the program Governors and Development Conversation on Independent Television, sponsored by the African Network for Environment and Economic Development, with support from the European Union and International IDEA, have emphasized the need for ministers of the gospel to focus on the true message of God in order to engender peace and development across the world. Sonny Duke Okosin completes the report.
The lead apostle, the New Apostolic Church, Apostle Oscar Wanza Kabanga, and the Apostle South Working Area, New Apostolic Church, Apostle Gode Odili, opined that the current challenges in the world is a product of adulteration of the true gospel of love, while urging religious leaders to focus only on the true message of Christ, admonished Christians to believe the word of God, to dispel fear.
We as church, we need to go back to our drawing board. What are we teaching our members? Teach all the believers to love God first and love their neighbor. Before you even start kidnapping someone, you can't kidnap someone you love.
Let's go back to the drawing board. That ancient landmark that was given unto us by Jesus Christ. The moment we preach such message, because in the scripture, the Bible says that a time will come, the people will begin to decide for pastors what to preach. And that's where we are.
On his part, the Executive Director, African Network for Environment and Economic Justice, ANIJ, and the Rector, New Apostolic Church, Arogba GRA Congregation, Reverend David Ogolo, said religious leaders need to play their roles only in line with the true gospel of Christ to foster peace and development.
The churches that preaches this prosperity, they are missing some target, and it's putting some unnecessary pressure on our people in the society. So this pressure is what is leading to where we are today. People don't understand their purpose here on earth. And once you don't understand your purpose here on earth, empty you came, empty you return back.
Governance and Development Conversation is on ITV every Monday at 5:30 p.m. Proudly sponsored by ANIJ with the support of the European Union and the International IDEA. From Benin, Sonny Duke Okosun, ITV News.
Moving on, Edo State government has reaffirmed its commitment to providing efficient and stable electricity to residents of the state. This assurance came as top management staff of the Ministry of Power, led by the Commissioner for Power, Barrister Paul Usembo, paid an official visit to the Azura Edo Power Plant, a 461 megawatt power generation facility. The visit was part of ongoing efforts by the state government to strengthen collaboration with key stakeholders in the power sector. Donald Ehimeye, who was on the entourage of the commissioner, reports.
As part of strategic efforts to ensure sustainable and reliable electricity supply across Edo State, top management staff of the Ministry of Power embarked on an official visit to Azura Edo Power Plant, a 461 megawatt independent power generation facility. The delegation was led by the Commissioner for Power, Barrister Paul Usembo, who said the visit was aimed at deepening partnership with power generation companies and assessing operational capacity in line with the state government's energy development agenda.
A few weeks ago, we engaged with BDC and have also visited Niger Delta Power Holding at the Harbor. We will be visiting the Osiomo IPP as well to ensure we can fuse and collaborate with all the stakeholders to be able to provide better power for our state.
So when you say residents? During the visit, the commissioner and other officials of the ministry were taking on a guided tour of critical facilities at the plant, where they were briefed on power generation processes, operational efficiency, and ongoing efforts to support stable electricity supply to the national grid.
I am happy that now states are getting involved, and what it means is previously, before we could build this power plant, almost every permitting process we had to go to Abuja, and just like I said, when we generate power here, we put it on the grid. We don't determine where that power goes.
The Commissioner for Power, Barrister Paul Lusembo, was accompanied on the visit by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Engineer Uyekme Stephen, the Director of Generation, Engineer Ifa Wadia Richard, the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Climate Change and Green Economy, Mr. Colin Tenebe, among other top government officials. Earlier, the Commissioner and his team paid a courtesy visit on the management of the Benin Electric Distribution Company. The visit underscored the Edo State government's resolve to leverage strategic partnership and infrastructure development in this drive to deliver efficient and reliable electricity to residents of the state. From Azua Power Plant in the local government area of Edo State, Donald Eminyen, ITV News.
Natives of Idumebo community in Irua, the administrative headquarters of Asen Central Local Government Area, Edo State, on Sunday, commended the Governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebolo, for appointing one of their daughters, Dr. Rita Otibo Erele, as the Executive Chairman, Edo State Senior Secondary Education Board. Edo Central correspondent Chris Omije reports that large crowd of community members converged on Idumebo Community Town Hall to receive her.
Dr. Rita Erewele was welcomed to her hometown, Idumebo Irua, with standing ovation by her people, who converged on Idumebo Community Town Hall to receive her on arrival. Women and elders of the community, who took turns to offer prayers for her, thanked Governor Monday Okpebolo for the appointment of their daughter and described it as a right decision, putting a square peg in a square hole.
That is what we will be praying for you in Jesus' mighty name.
The governor can never stop looking for round squares and putting them in round hole. This is one of the very, very best we have in the state. And for the governor to have able to sieve her out of so numerous persons who are equally qualified for the job, shows that the governor means well for the state.
We are happy about the appointment. The man who said the youth must grow under his canopy in Edo State, which is Senator Monday Okpebolo. That is the reason you see today everybody in Esan is happy.
For this reason, we are actually appreciating the governor. That's why you see this crowd here today. We have to organize an event to let him know that we are solidly behind him.
Responding, Dr. Rita Erewele appreciated them for the warm reception and promised to work in line with Governor Monday Okpebolo's Shine agenda to make them proud. She also promised to secure the WAEC enrollment for 10 students from the community.
And this honor they've given me today to appreciate our able governor, Senator Monday Okpebolo, is a very big motivation to me to put in my best in my service delivery to also make them proud in return.
Dr. Rita Otibo Erewele, prior to her appointment, was a lecturer in the Department of Educational Management, University of Benin, for over 20 years. From Idumebo Irua, Chris Omije, ITV News.
The Arogba GRA congregation of the New Apostolic Church in Nigeria have been urged to trust in God's protection and provision, even in the midst of distress. This admonition was given by the lead apostle Oscar Nwanza Kabanga during the 2026 Divine Service of Benin North District held on Sunday at the Church Auditorium on Ogome Road, Arogba GRA, Benin City. Joy Obarisiagbon reports.
The New Apostolic Church in Nigeria, established over 49 years ago, is a prominent Christian denomination to ensure the propagation of the gospel of Jesus Christ reaches the grassroots. At the 2026 Divine Service, the lead apostle Wanza Kabanga assured the congregation that they are under the wings and coverage of God and therefore should not be afraid, despite the insecurity threats in the country. He encouraged them to focus on their faith and trust in God's goodness.
No matter the situation we are going through, He is the only one who can take care of it till the end. Do not give up, and also don't be afraid. You just believe. Why? Because any story of our life belongs to Christ.
The service featured holy sealing, symbolizing the participants' sonship in the body of Christ. Shepherd David Ugolo and other ministers of the gospel harped on the need for Christians to practice the word of God in order to enjoy His blessings and protection.
We must learn to avoid trouble, but in our lane, because we are praying to God, because we are children of God, we will always be protected.
What are you passing through? What is your problem? Just run into that cave and make a call unto God. Believing and trusting in Him that there is nothing He cannot do. What makes us to be afraid is when we are not doing the right thing.
The lead apostle have opened to everyone, remind us that when we are in trouble, we should call upon the name of the Lord.
Always look into the hands of God, because we are in His hand.
The service was attended by representatives from 15 districts of the church in Edo State. From Benin, Joy Obaisiagun, ITV News.
This is where we'll call it a wrap on the update news this morning. I'm Ahoy Davis, and up next is TMI. Stay tuned.
ITV, certainly the best.
Good morning and welcome. This is TMI Socials. I am Anuluwakbo Stephen. So better still, call me a social media butterfly. Now, this morning we begin in Anambra State, where the governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, has ordered the closure of the Onitsha main market for 1 week over the traders' failure to comply with the directive to defy the Monday sit-at-home order. The statement, the government had vowed to take decisive action if businesses in the state as well as government officials continue to obey the sit-at-home order of IPOB. And of course, yesterday we saw the video flying all over social media. Let's take a look.
That markets are open Monday to Saturday. If you are not prepared to open your shops Monday to Saturday, then leave Anambra, go to elsewhere. Simple. Period. Okay? So, this market will be shut down for the remainder of this week. It will not be open tomorrow. It will not be open on Wednesday. It will not be open on Thursday. It will not be open on Friday. It will open again on Monday. And if we come on Monday, you want what?
Well, IPOB authorities reacting to this told the traders to say, you know what, go resume today and shun all information from the governor. But how did you take this online? Let's have a couple of tweets and reaction. We'll start off with this one on X, who says, will there be security agencies available to stop the Monday sit-at-home enforcers from damaging people's goods and properties if they show? Good question. Another user on X wrote, this is a tricky situation. While enforcing compliance is part of governance, shutting down a major market can have serious economic consequences for traders and the community. It raises a bigger question: how can authorities balance public directives with the livelihoods of citizens, especially in informal economies that drive local commerce? Well, finally on this story, this user wrote on X. If we could have another tweet to this one, this guy says Soludo should handle this matter delicately as it has security implications for those that defy the sit-at-home order. Closing the market is not a solution as he is preventing the traders from earning a living. Now, away from that, we move over to Abuja, where yesterday we saw tension in Abuja when a group of aggrieved workers chased the motorcade of the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, during a protest over unresolved welfare and salaries. Video shared online showed the aggrieved workers pursuing a car Wike was allegedly riding in. Take a look.
See him running out. See him speaking out. See him speaking out. See Wike speaking out. See him running. See him running. Ole! 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 See Wike running, see him running, see him running. Wike is running. Catch him, catch him, catch him, catch him, catch him. Ole, 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 ole.
It's the catch for me, but how did you react to this online? Let's see what netizens have been saying on the street of social media. We'll start off with this one who wrote, okay, this is quite interesting and lengthy, but let me just take the first two lines. It says, publicly humiliating a sitting minister. Okay, so now let's move over to another one, not quite clear there. Now this user says, we need to start publicly shaming political office holders like this. Nigerians need to channel their energy in the right direction. Away from that, we move over to another major story online, as yesterday we saw youth of the All Progressive Congress APC in Kogi State on Sunday precisely presented a 100 million naira check to Governor Ahmed Ododo for the purchase of President Bola Tinubu's 2027 re-election nomination form. Now, they said that the unanimous decision was also informed by the need to consolidate the foundation of the president for a better Nigeria. How did you react to this? Trust social media users to react to this interestingly. Now, this user on Instagram wrote, joke aside, is Nigeria going to get better? Well, good question, by the grace of God. And then another one wrote, are the youth aware they contributed up to 100 million naira? Interesting. Now, finally, yesterday we saw a viral video of Dave Umahi, the Minister of Works, where he said his political influence and status have grown far and beyond what they were when he was the former governor of Ebonyi State. He made the statement while speaking at a political gathering, a video of which is currently circulating online. Take a look.
Impress me as one of your own. Don't listen to noisemakers. My capacity is like 10 times when I was governor. I'm very, very dangerous now. Illustrious and industrious to come together. Let them approach me. Whatever is their need, they will have it done. Okay, man. This Umahi's family now, God has blessed them beyond words and are capable of funding anything. Don't be so? That's so. They are all doing very well. If you ask them to contribute, they will contribute and they will over-contribute. Don't be so? So I'm thanking you. I'm thanking the youth. Youth! Action! Youth!
According to him, he is now 10 times bigger than when he was the governor of Ebonyi State. We have two reactions to the story as we wrap things up this morning. Let's have our first tweet. This one says, the cancer that a couple of current Nigerian ministers are spreading in the polity is dangerous. They are gradually turning out democracy into an oligarchy or a monarchy. It is a dangerous aberration. Now, finally, on X, this user Enigma wrote, who doesn't know that you are a dangerous man? Anyway, we wrap up TMI Social this morning this way. Big shout out to you for being a part of the show. Thank you so much for watching. I am Nuoluwakbo Stevens. From all of us on This Morning Online TV, Lagos, Abuja, and right here in Edo State, please stay safe.
This is ITV.
Certainly the best.
ITV. ITV. ITV.